Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are live. I'm going to flip the camera real quick just to introduce myself. Hello, everybody. Um, Thank you all so much for joining. This is the March Encore Auction show for Robert Edward Auctions, March Encore. It is the final night of bidding. There's some awesome cards up for auction, so I'm super excited for you guys to get to see it. Guys, I do see REAs in the chat, so if you guys could throughout the night, if you have any questions, want to see any specific cards or anything like that, feel free to drop the comments. This is supposed to be interactive. This is supposed to allow us to be able to show you guys all the incredible stuff that is in each one of these auctions. You need to place your bids tonight before 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern in order to be in it, to win it. I myself have a couple of really excited cards and some bids that I placed. I'm going to show you guys towards the end of the show tonight the action that I have involved in. I think this auction is loaded with excellent cards. And there's certainly been some activity since the bidding last week when we had our last show. So I'm going to flip the camera. Let me get some comments in the chat. Let me know who's joining in from where, and would love to know if anyone else is thinking about putting bids in. And if they are, what are some of the cards? If you want me to show them off, happy to do that. Again, this is the Robert Edward Auction live coverage event. So I'm going to flip it over. The REA team should be in the chat. What is up? Puxatony Phil says we are. Love to see the comments come in. If anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them. And guys, I'm so pumped to get to show some of these off. I mean, since last week, there's been a couple of big bids that have come in. You'll see here right off the bat, we have the 1911 M110 Sporting Life cabinet card. So this looks very similar to those that are familiar with the Turkey Reds. It is not. Hey, Jay Jane, what about, what's up, Gordy? Good to see you, says Ashish. Hey, Ashish, good to see you, man. Thanks so much for joining over on YouTube. Guys, I'm going to present my screen. So for those that are watching on YouTube, you can see it. I'll be sharing my screen. And here we go. Let me know in the YouTube chat. Can you guys see my screen all good? Give me some comments, some thumbs up if you guys are watching there. Thank you so much. REA, do you have any openings for interns this summer? Says Nolan. There you go, REA. Guys, we're up to 218 people, 219 people in here. That's awesome. Baltimore, have you gotten any Diamond Kings card from the website? I actually have some really cool Diamond King stuff I want to show you guys a little bit later. But guys, so this is a very rare Wagner M110 Sporting Life cabinet card. So cabinet cards are indicative of their larger size. Typically cabinet cards are larger. So this is actually not a Turkey Red, says Bucko's Branded. Bucko's Branded Braid says, I love Turkey Red. Believe it or not, this is not a Turkey Red. It has a very similar structure, style, size, format. You'll see here in the description, REA has a little description here that talks about how this is the more rare M110 Sporting Life cabinet issued, but far more rare than the contemporary T3 Turkey Red cabinet. So you'll see that right here. So check that out. REA says that event starts April 5th. Let us know, REA, what event starts April 5th. Would that be your spring auction? Some comments do not come through, so we'll just have to double check on see that. So guys, this is the second lot. This is up quite a bit. I also wanted to just highlight the bid on that Wagner is 10,500 currently. So this is another lot that I really wanted to show off. I think this is a really cool piece. This is a 1933 Babe Ruth Worldwide Gum. This is a PSA 6. Yeah, spring auction starts April 5th. Very cool. And so the Worldwide Gum card, this is the Canadian version of the 33 Gouty. So everyone's familiar with the 33 Gouty, but not everyone is aware that there was actually two different variations of the card made. There was one made in the United States, which is the Gouty, and then the 33 Worldwide Gum is actually the Canadian variation. Now, this is a great example of this Babe Ruth card, PSA 6. The current bid is at 20,500. Next bid is 21,500. The 33 Gouty Ruth, or just this Ruth in general, is one of the cornerstone cards, in my opinion, of vintage baseball. If you were to look into the pop of the 33 Worldwide Gum Babe Ruth, you'll notice it's much lighter than the American version. However, they don't always trade for as much as the American, which is interesting. So you'd think the more rare card does the more value, but that hasn't historically been the case, which is interesting. Now, if I'm looking at some recent sales history. A 33 Gaudy Babe Ruth and a PSA 6 recently did 51,600. And this is a more rare copy of the Worldwide Gum, and it's at 20,000. So obviously there's a lot of value still in this set. Jack Sparrow says, so much on my REA watch list tonight. Great site. Couldn't agree more, man. Thanks for the comment. But again, that's at 21,500, and that should be interesting. Now, here's another card we've covered a couple of times. I wanted to highlight this just quickly. This is the Sporting Life M116 Wagner with the pastel background. REA's had a few of these over the last couple of months. This is an SGC 6. You could see very sharp card if you zoom in. The corners are razor sharp. The thing that deteriorates this card from being at the 8 or 9 range is just the centering off left to right, but still a really nice card in its own right there. And then let's jump over now to another one. I want to drop down to lot 11. Thank you very much, Amanda, for the comment. And we'll keep it moving here. Lot number 11. Lot number 11. I want to show off this, guys. This is 1909. This is the Hindu back Cy Young PSA 1. And it is a gorgeous example of the PSA 1. The color is fantastic. Centering's great. You will see a crease right on the front right side of his forehead. But, man, the rest of the card looks awesome. You can clearly see his name on the bottom, which is always important to me. Really beautiful example. And then, guys, the money-making shot, of course, is the back, the very rare Hindu back, Hindu brown back, cork tip, the totally different cigarette. Again, for those that aren't familiar with the T206 sets of the early 1900s, there are many different variations of the same portrait front. You'll see different backs for the different cigarette companies at the time. Now, this was a marketing tool that these cigarette companies used back in the early 1900s to lure people in from the collecting standpoint. You'll see another Cy Young. This is an SGC 3.5. This is a sweet cap back. So the sweet cap backs are more of the typical, more of the common backs. Thank you, Greg Keys, for sharing the live. Guys, if you have any card buddies, anybody who really likes vintage baseball cards, card collecting, you happen to stumble upon this live show, share it with your friends like Greg just did. Spread the word. This is the last night of bidding at REA, robertedwardauctions.com/bids. You can place your bids for any of these cards. You just have to place the bid before 9 o'clock tonight. That's when extended bidding starts. So be sure to check that out, guys, and give them a follow. If the REA team could just drop a comment just to say hello, you guys can easily click into the Robert Edward Auctions profile and give them a follow, because they post some excellent content of upcoming auctions. As each auction comes up, they show highlighted feature pieces, really high quality production video content. So definitely want to check out their profile. And there they are. They just gave the 2 thumbs up. So go ahead, click into that profile, and you can give that account a follow. Thank you so much to the REA team for joining in and watching. So here, guys, this is a 1911 George Close Candy E94 Ty Cobb. Guys, this is another really rare example of some of these pre-war cards that REA has just gotten so accustomed to having in some of these auctions. You could actually see the checklist of this specific set on the back. You'll notice some notable Hall of Famers. You've got McGraw, Ty Cobb, Nap Lajoie, Tris Speaker, some really cool cards. And then, yes, there is a Hans Wagner right on the back there. Some of you might know him, of course, for the infamous T206 card that he's on. But, guys, this is a really cool card. The current bid is $7,500 if you're interested in throwing a bid in on that. Lot number 19, if I go down just a little bit more, staying in that, early 1900s, early 20th century, if you will. This is a 1911 Honest Long Cut Tobacco T205 Walter Johnson card. Now, this set is notoriously difficult to grade highly because of its gold borders. It's very difficult to see these cards not have border issues, surface issues. But really cool card of the big train, Walter Johnson, SGC3. I want to show you guys the back as well, because the back presents very well. You can clearly read the full back description, which is always, again, important to me. And again, you can see the back, the cigarette company is the Long Cut Tobacco Company. So check that out, guys. Very cool. Again, that's lot number 19. And the current bid on that is $1,350. So great buy there at $1,350. Lot number 22, I want to jump to. This is a Babe Ruth W519. This is a hand cut card. This is very rare to see a hand cut card cut like this. I think the registration of this card is phenomenal. It's, you know, to see a grade authentic, that is quite typical for hand cut cards. You will see authentic grade stuff quite frequently with the rare hand cut. And again, I'm just checking back and forth over on YouTube, guys. I am broadcasting this on YouTube for a better viewing experience. You can always watch on YouTube. I share my screen, and that is easier. But I know some people just like scrolling TikTok and watch it on TikTok, so that's fine as well. But I just wanted to call this out because this is a really nicely eye appeal SGC-A Babe Ruth hand cut from 1920. So this is a playing years Babe Ruth. This predates the 33 Gaudy, the 33 Worldwide Gum card that we were showing earlier. And obviously, when it comes to vintage, the older you get, the more desirable and obviously the premiums things can run. The current bid on this is $3,400 for, again, a 1920 Babe Ruth card. I want to jump right to the next lot. I'm actually going to show the next two in a row because there's some more. NET 206 Cobb, says Bugsy. Yes. Yes, I'm surfing and I found my place with these old cards. Thomas Jones, thanks so much, man. You definitely want to give us and Robert Edward Auctions a follow. I go live with these auction coverages typically twice a month, showcasing these cards. And then I myself have my own vintage content channel here, Bonkers Cards, where I talk about vintage sports cards. And yeah, man, you definitely, the algorithm helped you out there, Thomas. So thanks so much for the comment. Bugsy, I will show you some T206 Cobbs in just a minute here. I want to show you guys this. This is a really cool piece. This is an extremely rare 1921 Shapiro Bros Candy Babe Ruth. It is in an SGC-A. Now, what I love about this is the way that these are displayed. I have seen, perfect. Thank you so much, REA. Bugsy, lots 416 and 284. Go check them out at bid.robertedwardauctions.com to check those T206 Cobbs out. But guys, I have seen this card in SGC slabs, just this card, just this square, many times at card shows. What I have not seen many times is getting the full picture here. Basically the partial box of the front and back Babe Ruth. Again, this is 1921. So this is an earlier Babe Ruth example. You know, you don't see a lot of 20s Babe Ruth stuff outside of these rare hand cut cards. I love this Babe Ruth card. I think right now the bid's at 5,250. And I do think that there's a lot of room still to go in terms of where I think that can close. But definitely wanted to highlight that quickly. Right next to it in lot number 24, this is a 1921 W516 21 Babe Ruth. This is a hand cut SGC-A. So minimum size requirement, again, not met. Like I said, for these hand cut cards, these are blank back, nothing to see on the back. But that's very, very typical for the hand cut cards to receive SGC-A. So that doesn't bother me one bit. Not seeing a numerical grade there. The current bid on that is $2,500 for an authentic Babe Ruth card from 1921. Pretty nuts. How do you feel about hand cut in general? I like hand cut because they're lower pop. They're very rare. I have grown to like them a lot as my collecting experience has grown because I tend to value the lower pop, the more rare stuff. Here's another example. I have never seen this card at a show. This is a 1920 W522 Babe Ruth hand cut, and this did get the SGC1. This did get the numerical grade, which of course is going to give it a premium in its own right. I'm going to zoom in just so that you guys can see the color. Still really nice. And again, you can read Babe Ruth very clearly on the bottom, which I always like. Blank back as well. The current bid is at $2,100. That's a good buy right there for a Babe Ruth at that point. 1920 was Ruth's first year with the Yankees. So there you go. We were showcasing the earlier cards, 1921, that W519. This is from his first year with the Yankees. So these are shortly after he got going with the Yankees. I'm going to jump to lot number 29 now. This is Joltin' Joe DiMaggio, SGC 25, his 41 play ball. Is that the only way you get those pictures and cards? Like our hand cut only available as hand cut? Yes, I would say those images were only printed on those hand cut cards from those time periods. Yes, Jack Sparrow. The 51 Bowman mantle. You just inherit a book full of vintage cards starting the 51 Bowmans, Thomas Jones. Very cool. Yes, the 51 Bowman mantle. That is a big card, man. Congrats on that. This is an SGC 2.5 Joe DiMaggio, 41 play ball. Love the color on this card. You'll check out the back. Very good, legible back. The Yankee Clipper, Joe DiMaggio, of course, forever enshrined in baseball history for the greatest hit streak of all time, likely to never be broken. Jack Sparrow says, thanks for your explanation. Of course, man, you got it. Thanks so much for watching, Jack. Feel free give us a follow and hang out. I have that card in a PSA 7. Bugsy's got a nice collection, man. Love to see that, Bugsy. I'm just going to check over on YouTube real quick. We've got only a couple people over watching on YouTube right now. Appreciate guys watching on YouTube. If anyone has any questions on YouTube, feel free to drop the questions there. I will read them. As I'm reading it through here now, I'm jumping over to lot number 41, and I sealed case, a wax box of 1988 and 89 Fleer basketball. We are going to jump to that. But look, actually, as I'm saying that, check this out, man. We do have a 51 Bowman Mantle and SGC 25. Check out that card. Beautiful example. Beautiful example of that card. So for our guy Thomas Jones, who just inherited it, there it is. There's a good comp for you to look at. 11.5 is the current bid on that. And guys, this is the one I'm watching tonight. I did throw a bid on this earlier. I'm going to be in it for extended bidding tonight. This is an SGC 5 Hank Aaron rookie. That's my favorite card of all time. But anyway, let's jump over to, like I said, that sealed lot of Fleer basketball from 1988 and 89. It is wrapped in BBCE, so Baseball Card Exchange. They are kind of the premium authenticator of sealed wax. So you do have that checked. So this has certainly never been opened. Really cool to get to see that up close. Check it out. There's the Baseball Card Exchange wrapper. Guys, this is sealed. And the current bid is at $3,100 on that lot. You will see two of them right side by side next to each other. And check this out, 1984 factory sealed unopened rack packs of tops. That current bid is at $1,700. That's awesome. Now I'm going to do some search function as well. So guys, you can search on this main homepage for the rest of the cards. Some of these we talked about last week, but I want to be able to utilize the search function. So you guys are going to be able to see, basically you could search by lot, you could search by things or players that you like. I know that I'm going to go to lot number 1211. So I'm just going to search lot number 1211. And actually, if I just type 1211, it should just come up that way. Let's filter to lot number. Sorry about that. So check that out, guys. This is the 1939 Joe DiMaggio. This is his rookie card in an SGC 3.5. First thing that jumps out to me, I don't know if you guys feel the same when I see this card. Centering. Centering is excellent on this card. You'll see a little bit of soft corners. That doesn't bother me whatsoever, especially when the centering is that good. Really, really nice card here. Again, 1939 Joe DiMaggio, play ball, SGC 3.5. The current bid, $1,400. Man, that is a very good price for that Joe D. I mean, if I were to just look, just so you guys know, it's just some sales history of this card. I can type that in quickly. 1939 Joe DiMaggio, SGC 3.5. What do you guys guess some of these have been? Yeah, I mean, the last one on eBay that is not nicely as centered as this sold for $2,000, and then in January another one sold for $2,000. So that is a very good buy at that level. But again, I'm going to search another lot. I'm going to jump to lot number 1539, a really, really nice higher grade Willie Mays. This is a card that I know my channel would love to have. I know I'd love to have this on my show. This is a high grade Willie Mays SGC 7. And check out how nicely this card portrays. Color is great. You will see that edge does not deteriorate the value at all from a grading experience when you do have the ripped edge like that. That is how it was literally right out of the factory. 39 was the first year play ball cards. Thank you so much to the REA team for that comment. Don't forget about the 20% buyer premium plus taxes that REA charges, Dougie Fresh. Yes, so for a buyer, you do pay 20% on top of the purchase price as the buyer's premium for these auctions. Thanks, Dougie Fresh, for the comment. But man, that is a really nice early 1955 tops Willie Mays SGC 7. The current bid there is at $1,650. I'm going to do a little more search in here. I'm going to go to lot number 1635 for our next one. Lot number 1635. This is a 1958 Mantle SGC 7 again. This is near mint 86. So this is one of those old SGC slabs before they converted to the new format of their slabs. But man, look at the sharpness, crispness of this 1958 Mantle. Great color. Registration is obviously very good with that Yankees logo. And I'll show the back here as well. Check out that old SGC label, man. That is an older one. You need to be bid to be eligible for extended bid, correct? Yes, Jack Sparrow, correct. So you do need to place a bid before 9 p.m. in order to be in it to win it on the extended bidding. Thanks so much there, Jack. Good luck if you're jumping in. Jack, have you made an account yet? I know sometimes it takes a couple minutes just to make an account. Make sure you give yourself enough time to make an account. Now I'm going to jump to lot number 1681. Lot number 1681. Billy Gardner, PSA 9 for those set builders. All good on the account process. Awesome, man. Check that out. Dead centered, super sharp corners, a Billy Gardner 1960 and a PSA 9. These are for your set builders that are going after it. Check that out. It's the highest graded example of this card. And guys, the bid is already at $4,200 for Billy Gardner. That just shows you the premium that those cards will take. Pretty nuts indeed. Man, that is awesome. So let's keep it rolling here, guys. I'm going to jump to another bid here. Lot number 1963 we're going to jump to. So check that out, lot number 1963. And that is a Johnny Bench SGC 9. This is nearly a perfect card, Johnny Bench SGC 9. Check that out. Beautiful card. That is mint. Johnny Bench SGC 9, of course, shares his rookie with Ron Tompkins. But the current bid there is $2,300. $2,300 for the Johnny Bench SGC 9. Now I'm going to jump to lot number 1969 for another really high grade Mickey Mantle card. Check that out. 1969. Check that out. 1969 Mickey Mantle, $1,400 for that Mickey Mantle SGC 9. And I'm going to just jump in so you guys can get a closer view. Check that out. SGC 8.5. That thing is dead nuts centered. Beautiful card. Very sharp. And check that back out. Super nice. Awesome, guys. Just wanted to show off that. This is towards the end of Mantle's career. He has one more card after that. He has another card in 1969. But, man, anytime you see Mantle's in that higher grade, that is special. An SGC 8.5. And, again, the current bid there is at $1,450. I'm going to go to lot number 2361 now. Lot number 2361. 1984. Wow, this is a year we have. So this is a 1984 Hall of Fame yearbook. Mickey Mantle, Ted Williams, a number of other stars. Check that out, guys. How cool is this? There's Ted, young Ted Williams there. You can really see Robin Roberts. There's the Mantle auto. Beautiful autograph of Mantle. Guys, and let me just show you one more picture of this. The current bid is at $1,300. Look at all those autographs of Hall of Famers. Lou Brock, Bobby Shantz. The autos are absolutely gorgeous too. Jack, yes, truly awesome. Check that out. So, guys, that is, again, a 84 Baseball Hall of Fame yearbook. The current bid on that is $1,300. And I'm going to back out here. So now I have 3 more lots that I definitely wanted to cover. And then if you guys had any other questions or wanted to see anything else, I could certainly shoot that. Again, the coverage here ends at 8 o'clock, so only a few more minutes. And then I will let you guys go and hopefully throw in some bids of your own for extended bidding. I've got some bids I'm going to up myself. Here's a 1980 Topps unopened CeeLo box, 24 backs. This holds the Rickey Henderson rookie card, which in a PSA 10 is north of a 6-figure card. So that's exciting in its own right. So check that out. That's a sealed box in 1980. When these sales go onto alt, is the buyer's premium added onto the comp? That's a great question. I believe so, but I don't know for sure. I would have to ask somebody at Alt YK Cards to double check on that. And then 2 more lots, guys. Lot number 3249. Check this out, man. The Bobby Jones, the Sporting Kings Bobby Jones from the 1933 Sporting Kids set. Really cool. The Sporting Kings set had not only baseball players like Ruth, but it had golfers, I know it had Jim Thorpe. Really nice color in this card. I love the color on that. The current bid, 2,700. Nice card there. And then lastly, another Sporting Kings, lot number 2966. Look at this, Red Grange. So there you go. There's a football card. So we just had a golf card from that set, football card, all different, really cool sets here. Red Grange, PSA 3. The current bid on this card is at $1,750. So that is all the sets that I really wanted to show you guys. If there was any players that you guys wanted me to search for you to see, if we're in it, I could do that. I want to show you guys my bids because I'm actually going to enter a new bid right now. These are some of the cards that I was taking a look at, playing around with. The one card that I have been dying to get for a long time. Oh, look at that. Nice. That's a 5.5 Banks. 1,300 still good at that. But this is my favorite card. I've been looking to get into an SGC 5 for a while. So I'm actually going to throw a bid in right now. Put that to 34. And let's see if I'm the high bidder now. Yes, there is a bidder's premium on this. All that information is accessible here on the website. It will show you what your buyer's premium is. But check that out here, guys. That is my Hank Aaron. I'm going after it. Wish me the best of luck. Buyer's premium is 20%. Thank you very much to the Robert Edward team. I was pretty sure on that, but always helpful to have the team come in and give me the confirmation. Guys, look at this 48 Leaf PSA 3.5. Love the contrast of the blue and yellow on this card. Current bid 16.5. So that's a very strong number so far on that. Jackie Robinson, one of my favorites to collect. Is there any other cards out there, guys, that you guys wanted me to take a look at? Any players that you guys were eyeing up? Any questions that you have for me or the REA team as we are wrapping up here? Again, my coverage ends at 8 o'clock. You guys can check out all these cards at bid.robertedwardauctions.com. Nolan Ryan rookies. Yeah, let's give it a check, man. Let's see. Search for 1968 Nolan Ryan. We've got plenty here, Jeremy. So there is a PSA 5 MC. There's a PSA 4. There's a SGC 1.5. And then there's an SGC 2. And man, that's a darn good price, $250. Let's check out that. Obviously, the centering there is very cut off left to right. You can actually see the starting of a new card start to form on that right side. But it did get a 1.5 because it's still a good looking card. It's just off center left, right? Big Rick says, I have one. I'm going to jump over to YouTube. Hello, Collector's Dream. Good to see you in there. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the coverage here. And guys, checking back in on this Reggie Jackson. Look at this. PSA 10, Reggie Jackson, 1976, PSA 10. Current bid, $25,000. Awesome example of this card. Mine's probably an 8 or a 9, says Big Rick. Very cool, Big Rick. Yeah, PSA 10 Reggie. Is that the highest bid at 25? The Roots at 21.5. Tell you, it looks to be really cool. And tons of good T206, tons of good pre-war stuff. Somebody was asking earlier about the T206 Cobb. Here's an SGC 1. How's that crease go through the middle? But 1,800 is a great buy on that Cobb right now. How much would it cost to grade my Nolan? It depends on what service you use. Typically, grading will range from $25 a card up to, $300, depending on the service you choose, SGC, PSA, or overnight, or what have you. But again, PSA, yeah, it should probably cost you around $100, depending if you do like a more expedited service. But guys, so that's the coverage. Again, you want to check this out at robertedwardauctions.com/bid. D-Ball, thank you very much for the follow. Thank you very much for the REA team for joining and watching. This was an awesome March Encore auction. Guys, get ready for the big spring auction that's going to be following this on April 15th. When Robert Edward Auction puts out a catalog auction, they are one of the biggest players in the game, especially with vintage. I got a little flyer this past week in the mail on some of the stuff to expect in their next auction. It is going to be huge. So definitely tune into that. If you guys enjoyed watching the show, please give me a follow both on YouTube and on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram as well, @BonkersCards. And yeah, I will be back on for my regular show. My regular show is typically right now, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. I am not going to have my regular Sunday show. I do have an obligation. So I will see you guys on the other side. I hope everyone has a fantastic Sunday evening. Thank you very much to the REA team for watching, and best of luck for everybody in their bids. So thank you all, and I'll see you soon. Good night. Ooh, forgot to log off on YouTube. I'll see you guys later. Bye.